Street Fighter 6 gets announced, and you're thinking, man, a 30-second CG trailer, not worth my time. Stop it. We're going to take a look at this trailer. We're going to see why it's worth your time, and we're going to see why it's not CG. Let's just get right into it. First, it's all in engine. Let's take a look. You can tell this is all in engine because this is the RE engine. You can see that there's clipping going on. Right, you can see that the sweat that's just sticking to Ryu's fist over here, forearms, doesn't look all that great. That's because we're never going to see it this up close again, at least in trailers. In the game, we're never going to see this that far up close. But the fact that this isn't perfect is what leads me to believe that this is all an engine. Right, like, he's flexing his muscles, which, by the way, this is the stuff that they're trying to show off. Trying to show off that he's got musculature. He's flexing. There's deformation going on the model. It's pretty badass. But if you look at the sweat doesn't change along with the model, right? If this was CG, you bet your ass they would be spending hours and hours just making this look like it's real. But it's not CG, which is a good thing. This is an engine. This is probably what this game's going to look like, right? More sweat. Like, it looks like he got hit with a glitter bomb. Look at this. There's just beads of sweat just like sitting on him. I'll bet you if you move the model, all of that stuff falls off, which is pretty cool. It'll look cool in game. Doesn't look perfect in the trailer, but that's, again, not a bad thing. This is engine. This is an engine. This is exciting. Here's the RE engine at work, right? We're probably not going to look at Ryu's foot. The fact that this is already paused on my screen is trouble enough. But what I wanted to point out is this. Look. This is the most minute thing we're going to see in this model, right? The texture of the rope around this dude's sandals, which, by the way, this is probably the first time in Ryu's career that he's wearing sandals, right? Let's be real here. So I think he's finally getting old enough that he needs to start protecting the bottom of his feet. Now, this texture looks like something straight out of like GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. It's not good, right? By any means, compared to the other stuff in this trailer. However, that's how the RE engine works. They take all of the bandwidth away from the stuff that we don't really notice, our brain just automatically fills in, and they put all of the bandwidth that they have to make things look as good as they can on the stuff that we do focus on. Not toenails. Right? This is what I'm talking about. Look at the texture on Ryu's arm. You can see by the reflection of the light here. It's, first of all, he probably smells like BO. That's the one thing we can tell just by all this sweat. But you can see all of the detail on his skin. You can see the pores. You can see all this other stuff. This is where the RE engine is focusing its stuff on. Not necessarily on Ryu's sandals. Not on anything else. Right? This is what they want us to see. Look at the hair. His hair is not gray. Everybody's saying his hair is gray. That's just how the light looks hitting it. You know how light works. You've seen it before. You think they're going to give Ryu gray hair? I don't. Muscle rotation, right? Like you could see his, I think these are the lats, right? That's what they're called. You can see the lats rotate. You can see the musculature. It's pretty accurate to what it looks like in real life. It's pretty cool. And again, just the sweat. Like the sweat. And there's all these particle effects which are killing the bandwidth for the video, which makes it, come on, there we go, which makes it look like it's pixelating, but it's just the particle effects. That's next gen, right? It's just part of particle effect city. And it might just be like steam rising off of him. I'm not entirely sure. Then we see Luke, not Ken, Luke. Here's why. First, Ken wears a red gi, right? This isn't Ken. Is Ken going to be in the game? Who knows? Nobody knows anything at this point. But Street Fighter 6, or Street Fighter 5, I'm sorry, they introduced Luke saying that he was going to be the important character in Street Fighter 6. That's first. Second, in Street Fighter 5's design, obviously he's shirtless, he's wearing fighting gear. It doesn't look like he's wearing fighting gear except for his gloves. However, the Air Force symbol on his shirt here, the star on his shoulder, the dog tags he's wearing that Ryu's shoulder is covering up, and the USA glove, that's all Street Fighter 5 Luke stuff. That's all in his body as tattoos. Here, doesn't seem like he has any tattoos. Complete design change, but that's Luke. So I'm sorry to all the Ken fans who thought this was Ken. This is Luke. Sorry. Let's play the trailer.
All right, you ready?
Interesting shot. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Let's rewind that a little bit. This is the RE engine at work here. Boom. Texture on his hand sucks ass, right? Doesn't look too great. It does look cool. It does look a little bit realistic, right? You could tell whoever made the texture for it, that they wound up wrapping it in this model, is semi-realistic, right? But when you look at it next to the glove, it just looks like wallpaper, right? The glove has all the detail. The palm of the hand doesn't have any. We're not going to focus on the palm of his hand, of course. That's why the glove has the most detail. This is for you to see, like, oh, you can tell that's leather. You can tell this is leather. This looks a little bit weird. However, this is why it looks weird. Muscle deformation, baby. Not muscle deformation, but like surface texture deformation. That's really cool. Can't wait to see more of that. More particle effects killing the bitrate here. Then they have Ryu. Now, you could tell the eyebrows clipping through the headband. That's classic Street Fighter, baby. A lot of people are saying this looks like Chris. Of course they reused Chris's model. Of course. They just did a couple tweaks to it. It's fine. It's cool. They're saving money by doing it, and it still looks badass. Now, two things about what just happened here. They're showing the classic, like, modern Street Fighter. It's weird. It's very bizarre that I'm saying classic, modern, but in modern Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, everything has been ink, right? It's ink blots, everything, right? So we're getting the ink blots, we're getting all this stuff. Is this a filter that they're using on the footage after it's been shot, or is this an engine? Is this like compositing, or is this actually happening in the engine in the thing? It is happening in the engine in the thing. Here's how we know. Look at the inside of Luke's mouth. That looks awful. Again, things being bad is not a bad thing, right? This is showing us that this is an engine and this is working within the confines of the engine that they created. And it's amazing, right? It looks kind of weird when you pause it, but in motion, it looks sick. So seeing all these little imperfections is what's kind of making things exciting, right? Like, this is probably going to be what the game's going to look like. This is probably a super animation. And then we get Kurosawa Ryu. Bam! This is so badass, dude. Like, if this is a super activation, like, the dude's not gritting his teeth for the first time in Street Fighter history. He's actually, like, tensing up his face like a normal human being. It's sick. If this is what a super activation looks like, I'm already sold. I'm pre-ordering. Well, maybe not. I don't know. There's still a lot left to see. And then we get the Street Fighter 6. Now, first of all, I love the way this dude sounds, right? I'm a fan. Not a fan of the cryptocurrency logo. Not a fan of the fact that, you know, we have 6 notifications on our messaging app here. But, you know, that stuff, like, this is supplemental, right? So, again, in-engine 30-second teaser. Could we use more information? Sure. I want more information all the time. But with the stuff that they gave us, they're showing us the direction that they're going in. They're showing us how cool this shit's going to look like when it gets released, if they keep it going in the same direction that they are now. And we're going to see more of it probably around Evo time. So I'm excited. I hope you are too. And I'll see you when more news comes out about it.